Let's talk about my photo backup process. So I've been talking about it a lot in recent videos, which if you haven't checked out any of those, check them out right above. But your backup process is probably the most important thing you need to focus on as a photographer. I made a video in the past on my backup process, but let's go ahead and update that and talk about my backup process for 2022. Backing up starts out the moment you start taking photos. This starts with having a dual card slot camera. Now, personally, I used to shoot on a single card slot. I did it for 3 years while doing wedding photography, but honestly, having that initial backup is huge. I've never had an SD card fail on me before, but I'd rather not have it happen at all, so shooting with a dual card slot is nice. Again, that has you on the day of whatever you're shooting with a backup already. My second area of backup is something I do on site as well, especially if I'm traveling, and that's gonna be using the GNARBOX. The GNARBOX is essentially a hard drive with an SD card in it that will let you back up on site. Again, the main reason I love this is I'm able to back up my second photographer's photos while I'm actually at the wedding, rather than taking their SD cards with me and then having to deal with getting that back to them. Now, I will give you a slight disclaimer. Recently in the news, which I was reading on Petapixel, it looks like GNARBOX might be going out of business. I hope I'm wrong, but just a fair warning, I love this thing. I use it at every single wedding, but I'm not sure the current state of the company. I hope I'm wrong, but I guess we'll see what happens. So I've shot with my dual card slot, so I already have one backup, and then I also back up one of my SD cards onto the GNARBOX. So that's 2 backups now before I even get home. The third place of the backup is actually while I import into Lightroom. Now, a lot of you may think, okay, you get to your computer, you import to Lightroom, but one secret little thing that you can turn on while you're importing is make another copy to another hard drive. You can find this in the top right corner of Lightroom Classic while you're importing. Make sure to turn this on and also back up to an external hard drive. So you'll see I'll make my initial backup while I'm importing and also another backup to an external hard drive. At this point, this gives me 4 backups. The 2 on the SD cards, the 1 from the GNARBOX, and then 2 more that are actually on my computer. One tip about importing as well, another reason why I love the GNARBOX, is if I've imported all my photos onto the GNARBOX and also my second photographer's photos, when I go to import into Lightroom, all I have to do is import off of the GNARBOX, rather than being like, okay, let's do this SD card, and then let's do this SD card. Just all off the GNARBOX, all of it comes in at one time, which saves me a bunch of time. The fourth area that I'm backing up to is gonna be my archival system, which is on a network attached server. I have 2 different network attached servers. I have a QNAP and also a Synology. I like my QNAP better, and I also have 10 gigabit Ethernet installed on it. So that's the main one I use. But basically, after I've imported my 2 copies into Lightroom, I take one of those copies and dump it onto the NAS just to make sure it's there and archived. And I pretty much just leave that there forever. So once I start deleting stuff off of my hard drive, off of my computer, the stuff on the NAS stays there basically forever. I will come back and probably delete some stuff, but at this moment I have like over 20 terabytes, so I'm good for now, at least for a couple of years. So if you're not familiar with a NAS, you should definitely look into it and get one for yourself. They're great to work off of, but what I like it most for is just doing archival. So all my videos, all my raw photos, all my JPEGs, I just throw it on there and just leave it. And then the 5th place where I'm doing my backups, which is probably the most important, is to a cloud backup system like Backblaze. So with Backblaze, I'm able to make a cloud backup of basically all of the backups that I already have. So again, I have the SD card, the GNARBOX, the 2 through Lightroom, and then 1 on my NAS. And I'm actually able to back up all of my hard drives and even my servers onto Backblaze. If you haven't used Backblaze, you definitely should check it out because it's like $7 a month. It is super cheap and it will back up your whole computer, as much data as you have. I've actually lost data in the past, and what's really cool is they actually just ship you a hard drive with all your data on it, so you're able to load it up real quick. So you're not sitting there trying to download like 10 terabytes of information, which will take forever, especially if you're on this janko internet that I have from Spectrum. I cannot stand their internet, it's so bad. So yeah, make sure you have some type of cloud backup system. I know there's a bunch of them out there, but I absolutely love Backblaze and I've been using them for a long time now. They've never let me down. and the fact that I can also back up my servers is huge for me. And that was a quick look at my backup process. Let me know in the comments below what your backup process looked like, if there's anything you add to your backup process that's a little longer than mine, and also put in your bets to let me know if you think GNARBOX is still gonna be around for a while, because it looks like they're done. Don't forget to hit the like if you enjoyed this information, and I'll check you all out next time. All right, peace.